Welcome to Energy Linguist, a sacred space for awakening souls ready to receive divine transmissions and the raw truth that sets them free. I am Laura Ahern, a spiritual channel and energy translator here to bring through messages from highest guidance to help you hear your inner knowing, reclaim who you are beneath the noise, and live from the truth within. Take a breath. You've found the space where remembering begins. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Energy Linguist podcast. I am your host, Laura Ahern, the Energy Linguist, and it is my honor to be here with you today to channel these divine transmissions to help awaken this truth and inner knowing within you so that you can start to break free from any limits or patterns that you feel have you stuck. Thank you so much for being here and gifting yourself this moment. This moment today is a really special one because we're talking about your destiny. We're talking about your fate. This magnetic future that has been pulling you into it. And it has been seeking you all along. If you were with me in our previous episode of Energy Linguist podcast, you're already in the awareness and vibration of this higher concept and higher truth that your past is not creating your future, but rather your future is creating your past. Right? That's a big concept. In fact, I dive into this in my book, The True Calling, so that we can really start to integrate this into our consciousness. Because the truth of the matter is this: your past and your present are being created by the future you, so that you may gain whatever wisdom, strength, and perseverance that is required to come into the fulfillment of this glorious destiny that exists. And today, Highest Guidance aims to help you embrace this truth that there is a higher path, a higher purpose that is calling you by removing a lot of this polarization and resistance that we experience as human beings. So today, I want to start with a question. And that question is this: how many of you have ever felt that the idea of having free will and having a destiny were at odds? Yes, right? This idea that I have all of the choice in the world. I am the creator. There's a creator within me, and all of my choices create. Versus there's certain things I am meant to experience. There are certain things that are destined for me, and I have no choice whatsoever. They're just going to happen to me. Breathe into that. Both of these things are true. It is not a black or white either or situation. In fact, nothing really is. Our minds just experience it as so. Our consciousness and this human essence of us seeks to decipher and differentiate between information to properly catalog it. And a lot of the times we are at odds with that which is calling us simply because we don't see how one thing can exist while the other exists. But the fact is that all things exist at the same time. So yes, your challenges, your pain, the struggles, the resistance, the obstacles, they are real. They exist. And so does a place and time where you are full of peace and joy, fulfillment in contribution, living in abundance, free of all lack and scarcity that has been draining you. And today, Divinity wants to point you in the direction of how to blend these two experiences together so that one can translate into the other. So if you can imagine the visual of the yin yang symbol, and imagine it spinning, kind of circling, or you circling through it. If you were traveling along the outside rim of that circle, you would experience this transition from what seems to be dark and dense, and it becomes less dense, less dark, lighter, until it starts to illuminate. And then the illumination comes and it gets brighter and brighter, and suddenly you're in this different place, right? Life is going to cycle challenges in and out of your life. It's like climbing this beautiful mountain where some parts are going to require a lot more, and they're going to require rest within them as well, so that you can properly get through them. We do not make it to our highest expression of ourselves through output alone, through burnout alone. You're being welcomed into harmonizing the idea that yes, effort is required while rest is required as well. And today, as we dive into what fate really is, I want you to embrace this idea that things that are seemingly opposing do exist at the same time, and that they are all happening for you. When we're talking about your destiny, what I love about this is I've met a lot of people who feel resistant to destiny because they want to believe that they still have a choice and that there are many paths. And yes, this is true. There are many paths. There are many choices. And there still is this highest place that is still calling you. And there's an extraordinary number of paths that can get you there. There's an extraordinary amount of choice and experience that will get you there. And yet there still is this destined place. So what is destiny? Let's first talk about that from a vibrational standpoint. In its core of the meaning of destiny, it actually means to stand firm. So that which is made to stand firm. Destiny carries the energies of establishment, of foundation, of something that is anchored into place. And so it's very interesting because it traces back to its original meaning, to stand, and it literally means to cause to stand firm or to establish firmly. So instead of this idea that destiny is something that is already locked in a place and time and is what it is, its meaning actually is revealing something very different to us. And what it's showing us is that it is being made to stand firm. There is an intention, an energy that exists behind it that then causes it to stand firm. So then what is it? What is that energy, that power that stands behind it? The answer to that is revealed in fate. Again, fate, carrying a similar connotation as destiny, would lead one to believe that something is already predetermined, it's locked in, we have no choice. But God wants you to know that you have all the choice in the world in where you are headed. And so when we start to be pointed to look into the vibration of what fate is, the root meaning of the word fate actually means that which is spoken and declared. Fate is really, really incredible and fascinating when you look at its roots, because it does mean that which has been spoken or divine utterance. It means to speak, to say into being. So what's really wild about this is fate has become known over the ages with this connotation of predetermined destiny, right? Hear that through the lens of what we just talked about destiny being. Predetermined standing, predetermined anchoring, right? It feels solid. But what predetermines it? The answer is in the vibration of fate. What predetermines it is that which is being spoken, being uttered into being. Why is it important for us to touch on this today? Because what it's pointing you to is the understanding that fate has an oral declarative quality to speak into. That there is a choice here that exists. And that choice exists within your ability to see and declare what is being spoken into being. When we think of willpower, I want you to imagine this solar plexus energy of the fire within, this personal power, human will, this drive that gets ignited by our passion. And it's very fiery. It's very masculine in our output and our drive. And yet there's a different willpower that also exists within our field that is anchored more in the divine. And that is divine will that exists within the essence of our throat chakra, this higher spiritual center. Since our solar plexus is of our material center, the throat chakra is its partner chakra that exists within our spiritual center. And so they carry some of the same essences. It's important for us to realize that will exists within our frequency on those two levels. At the I'm going to make this happen level with my drive and my energy and my output, and the throat energy of will, which is I'm going to make this happen with my choices. With this divine inspiration, this conviction that I feel, the willingness to move with what you're inspired with through how we're speaking to it. What is incredible about this messaging about fate is that your throat chakra essence is your manifestation center. And it holds within it our choice, our ability to choose, our ability to speak, and our freedom. This center, how we communicate, is an illustration to the divine of what we believe is possible for ourselves. It means, how are you speaking your life into being? How are you speaking to yourself on this more unconscious inner dialogue? What are you saying to the self? How are you speaking about your life to others outside of you? How are you speaking about your future? Or are you at all? Divinity wants you to understand that one of the key reasons that you get stuck in cycles in your life is because you keep speaking about the past and the present and the cycles and the cycles and the cycles. You dizzy yet? So often we do not use our voice to speak of our future with any level of conviction other than this desperate hoping that we want to escape that which we feel we are suffering under. Many of us have not considered that we are suffering under it because we keep speaking to it, speaking in it. We're actually investing our life force and our creative power into the past pains and the current struggles that we're feeling. And so today, you are being invited to break that pattern by bringing a higher awareness into how you are choosing to speak about yourself, about your life, about your dreams. Are you even allowing yourself to dream out loud? Or are you too afraid of the feedback you'll get when you do that? If you feel contraction around your ability to speak freely, I want to bring you into a moment of empowerment right now by pointing something out. You are actually not as worried about the external as it would perceive. You really don't care all that much about how people judge you. It manifests as that experience in your life maybe, but that's not what's at its core. What's at its core is that someone might judge you And you will agree with that judgment and that condemnation within your being. So it's not necessarily about what others are saying. It's about when we choose to agree and believe and invest in those things that are being said about us and allow it to deflate us or defeat us. When you choose to build up your self-love and conviction and your inner knowing to the point where it is this beautiful light of love, it will drive out anyone else's judgments, condemnations, labels. You'll be able to just kind of part the seas, move through it and beyond it while still staying in your inner knowing that you get to choose how you feel about you. You get to choose how you feel about your dreams, and you get to choose your destiny, meaning you get to choose what you're anchoring into your future. Because when we're talking about your future magnetizing you into it, what that really means is that there is this peak point that your soul aims to achieve in this lifetime. And how it can be achieved is infinite. You have all of the choice in the world. But we can only choose as big as we allow ourselves to dream. We can only ever choose as big as we allow ourselves to receive. The world will always reflect back to us the standard that we set in our own inner world. And if we think or behave or speak in a way that conveys that we need to sacrifice ourselves in order to have wonderful things or experience love or experience abundance, you're going to continue to have the world reflect that back to you. And so my hope for you in the messaging today is that you allow yourself to embody this messaging, to know in your core that you are the power that chooses your future, that all things that have happened and experienced in the past and the present for you are not happening to you. They truly have happened for you to help you devise the wisdom, strength, perseverance you need to ascend to where you are meant to be in this soul's journey of this particular lifetime. For those of you who are women listening to this podcast and would love to be a part of my Redwoods retreat this upcoming March 17th through the 21st in the northern Redwoods of California, I'm inviting you to move beyond all of the limits that have been in your life, to move beyond the cycles, to move beyond the old way of creating your life, and to step into absolute clarity around what you desire to create and experience in this world. You have this one life to live out. And though on a spiritual level we know we live many lifetimes, your soul is yearning to discover specific things about itself in this lifetime, to allow those things to blossom and be made manifest, to allow your light to shine, to not just be in the deprivation and the sacrificing and the burnout or the overanalyzing and trying to figure out, but instead to fully step into that which you are meant to experience and contribute in this world. Because you have a unique light to shine, and it matters. It matters in this world. The world needs your light, and it needs it now. There will never be a better time than now to step onto that path. We are in this awakening period for a limited amount of time and for a reason. And the energies that are assisting you right now are more supportive in the transmutation of the old and the creation of the new than they have ever been before now. It's an extraordinary moment in time. And what I know to be certain is that choosing you will never get easier. It will only get harder. The more weight you carry, the longer you carry it, the harder it will feel to put it down. The time will never be better than it is right now to choose you, to choose what you're really meant for, and to stop the waiting, stop the wondering, and to fully step in to where you are meant to be in this world, to matter in the way that you know you matter, to be involved in the things that matter most to you, to touch the lives and the people that you are meant to touch with your light, that only your light can touch. And so my prayer for you today is that you allow yourself to answer the call of that which has been moving you forward, even if you have no idea what that is. If you know you deserve more and you know you deserve different, choose to step into it and choose to step into it now. I hope all of you, both men and women, are blessed by this messaging today, that you embrace your power of choice, your fate, your destiny, to know that you are a co-creator with it, that there are certain experiences we cannot avoid, and yet they still serve us, and we can make them matter when we choose for ourselves to keep walking our path of belief with conviction in the greatness that is next for us. Until we're together again, I am sending you so much light and love. Thank you so much for being here with me on this episode of Energy Linguist Podcast. I'll see you next time. Thank you for being here, for listening with your heart, and for opening to the truth meant just for you. If this transmission resonated, I invite you to visit lauraahern.com for free resources and sacred support to help you accelerate your awakening and walk your path with more power, trust, and grace. Until next time, trust what you feel, honor what you know, and believe in your power to create something greater than you've ever imagined.